So today I'm going to do some work on something new. We've been dealing with the buildings recently. Today I'm going to do some vehicles for the set, and I've got 4 that I'm in the process of working on. The first one, which is almost done, is this. And I'm going to zoom in here for it. These are all in N scale, so it's a 1/160th scale. This one is a 1920s Chevy flatbed truck. And to go along with it, I have from the same era a 1920s Chevy coal delivery truck, which is not as far along in the build process, obviously. Also, almost done is this one, which is a 1936 Buick Coupe. And all I really have left to do on him is get his wheels attached, and he should be good to go. And I also have a let's see, this one over here, which is a 1930s Ford Model AA stake body truck. And as you see, he has quite a bit left to go. And then the last one I have is over here, and he has a lot of work to go. He's pretty much just in pieces, with none of them assembled yet. This one is a 1930s pickup truck. And as you can see, no work has been done on him yet. So we'll slide him off the space. We'll move the flatbed out of my working area since he is pretty much done. And I think we'll jump onto the coal truck because he's close, and the Buick Coupe because he's close. We'll slide these other 2 off to the side, and we'll work on them at a later date. So these are made out of a soft metal, which means I'm going to be using super glue for them. I've got 2 super glues. Zoom back out here so you can see the work area more. I got this one, which is a medium gap filling, and I got this one that's a little bit thicker. I also have in this brown bottle some accelerator for them, because otherwise I don't glue myself to something, because that's just the way my construction of things with super glue goes. I've got some files here because I'm going to have to file some things down once I get them cut. Some cutters, and I got some clothespins here to use as clamps. If I need a little more oomph, I got these little clamps, and a hobby knife. Alright, well, I think this is going to be enough to get us going. So let's start on with these guys. I've also, before I forget, got a pair of these because some of this stuff has to be done up close, especially with the small scale we're working. Mine came with both arms like regular glasses and this band. Since I wear glasses, it's easier to get them to fit with the band than have a second pair of glasses arms trying to make room in my over my ears here. So alright, and they do have a little light on them. I'm not sure how much that light will affect the shooting. I'm sure you can see it when it comes into the screen there. Alright. Let's get started. We're going to start with the wheels for... Do you want to start with the wheels for him? We should probably get his bed on there because the wheels need to fit under that, and I don't want to mess it up. The good thing about this is because it is such soft metal, it's really easy to just kind of nudge things a little bit and bend it just enough to make some room. So, slide him aside and those aside. Bring out the super glue. And I'm just going to put a run along each of these arms here. Then I'm going to take the coal bed, which they very nicely modeled the coal into, and we're going to put him right about there. I'm going to flip him over, make sure I get this, kind of centered and straight. So he's in there. See, I'm already sticking myself to things. And we'll hit him with some of this activator, and that will get that super glue to set on us really quickly. And voila, his bed is ready to go. So onto the wheels. He has headlights here. I don't know if you can see them in the video, but these are very small bits right here on the end are headlights that go on him. That's I'm definitely going to need the magnifiers for. So let's see these wheels. We got thicker wheels and thinner wheels, so front wheels and back wheels. Let's start with the front wheel since we just worked at the back. I'm just going to take and snip it roughly off. I'm going to snip both of them while I got this out. There we go. And now, let's see here. Gonna need to work a little bit off. So I'm gonna use the file and I just want to knock this seam down, make it look at least kind of like a tire. I hope my head's not getting in the way when I lean forward like this, but I can't see the monitor where this image shows up unless I turn around. Let's see here. Looking pretty good there. Alright. And let's see how he'll fit. Fumble fingers. Alright. Oh, I keep wanting to show the end that has. Let's nip that out of there. It doesn't need to be there. That's the leftover from the sprue. Flatten it out a little bit so it's kind of where the rest of the back of the wheel is. And let's see about setting him. Looks pretty good. So we're going to do this with some super glue into
the groove where he's supposed to set, and I realize that is way more than I needed, but it's okay. I'm gonna set the tire wheel in there, kind of look at him, make sure, see, he's got kind of a lean to him. He leans out at the top, so we're gonna kind of there we go. That looks more up and down. What do you think? I realize it's probably kind of hard to see from there. Let's zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about more. And focus, focus. Come on, there we go. There, now you can see the wheel. Alright, so we got to do another one. This wheel will go in the same spot over here. I'm just going to do him the same way. I didn't use the zip kicker because I knew I was probably going to have to adjust him. So I'll just leave him sit. This glue is pretty quick setting, even without the zip kicker or accelerator. I guess zip kicker technically is a particular brand. So the C8 accelerator. Again, just I'm trimming that remnant of the sprue off and then filing the back of the wheel down so it's roughly the same as the other parts. Pull him out here and just a little dab into that wheel holding spot, and then I'm going to take and drop him in there. I'm kind of holding him in place, trying to get there. I am going to hit him because now that I got him in place, I don't want him to move. So, there we go. See, he's still a little crooked, but there we go. We have two wheels on the front end of the truck. They're roughly straight up and down where they need to be. I'll flip him over. The last two wheels go in these notches right here. So, same process. I'm going to snip both of them off. Don't lose that because he's got my headlights on it, and as you can see, these do have the metal pieces around the wheel. We want to make sure that ends up on the top where it should be. So we're gonna snip. Give that another one. I'm just trying to get the. One day I'm going to drop something. It's going to go bouncing and I am never going to find it. That's alright. I got a robot vacuum named Bruce because it's from Shark. And Bruce was the name of the shark, the mechanical shark used in the filming of Jaws. So it seemed appropriate to name my mechanical robot vacuum cleaner from Shark Bruce. But if I were to drop something small, Bruce would find it because he does that a lot. Anyways, I'm just knocking the seam off of this. Most of the seam wouldn't show, and at this scale you would have to get right down on it, but I'm picky like that. What happened to the lights? Oh, I know what happened to the lights. Give me 1 second. Let me fix that here real quick. I have it set up on Thursdays. Sometimes I'm away. So I have it set to just kick them on so the apartment's not dark when I come in. So there we go. We have lights again. All right, back to the work here. So now that looks good enough for government work. The other thing I can do is, if this is, I can come in and fill and make the tires even. And round. But let's get him put on, and then we'll see how he looks. So, we know he's got to go in here. And we know he's got to have the metal bar, or the well pointing out. So let's see. This, I'm just going to make a small mark here. Right about here. All I'm doing is just barely scratching the metal. That's about the top middle. So I know that is about where I want him. I want to go right about there, so I can have him at the top. Doesn't feel like he's actually going to sit in that V they have. So I'm just going to, instead of worrying about the V, I'm just going to put it, the glue, right there. That's where he's going to sit. So I'm going to put him in, and I'm going to use this probe in my fingers to kind of get him positioned right about there. Let's check him. And he looks pretty upright, so let's give him a shot just to lock him in place. And he's almost done. We got one more wheel to put on the coal truck. You can see he doesn't sit level yet. So back to this wheel, and again cut off that, and with the small file, I got these files. I have a set that I bought at a hobby store years ago, and it was like, I still have them. They're these ones without the fancy handle on them, as opposed to these ones. I still have them. They're here. They work. But I got them in a hobby store a couple years ago. They cost probably $15, $20, I think, at the time. These ones, I got them at Lowe's for like $8. It's a set of 5. They're the same shapes. The one looks like it's a little warped, but honestly, it still works for what I need it for. And that's one of the things I've noticed. If I go to a hobby store and I go, or a craft store, and I go into the hobby section, everything's expensive. But a lot of times, if I wandered to a different department, a different aisle, I can find something very similar to what I'm looking for. It's cheaper. Okay, so what if the pliers have a less manly, if you want to use that term, color on the handle? I don't care. I don't care what color they are. These ones are blue. I've got a pair with black. It doesn't matter. But it's really weird that just because these pliers are for modelers or guy hobbies, use that term very loosely because they're more expensive than walking 2 aisles over to like the jewelry section of the craft store and getting pliers there, even though they accomplish the same task. So, alright, he's pretty much filed down the way I want him. So, again, he's going to go right in here. I've made my little mark. Don't know if it's visible on the camera there. So let's see if we can't get him situated before the glue dries. I'm fat fingering this. There we go. He's in place. Roughly rotated the right way. He looks straight. See? Roughly straight. Very roughly. Let's see how he sits on the ground. Does he sit level? He's got a little rock to him. But not the end of the world. Again, as small as they are, and it won't be hard to mask that especially if I put him like in a dirt scene. No one will. It'll be impossible to tell that he's just slightly off, but not bad. So I'm calling him done with the build process. Anyways, he still needs to be painted. We'll put him over here with his brother, who's the flatbed that's done. I'm going to call it quits there for this model building session. The Buick will be next on the list to be worked on. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. We'll see how I'm feeling. Today was, a day. Anyways, thanks for joining me and watching me build a coal delivery truck. I appreciate it.